Today's video might be a quick one. I don't have a whole lot to talk about it. I think it's kind of a simple. Okay, sunglasses are staying on. It's a little too bright out here. It's kind of a simple subject, honestly. I think most people understand the basics of it, so it's not crazy. But got two little quick things on it, and I was going to talk about something else, but I think the move is after listening to a little YouTube video earlier today talking about investing, and basically it was talking about dividend investing, but they mentioned Social Security in there. And then I see another little an article earlier today. It's talking about Social Security, and every couple of years they come out and say, hey, Social Security is going to run out of money, because it will eventually. It's always been set up where it's going to run out of money unless the United States population just goes up infinitely, which that cannot happen. But it's an interesting thing, because I don't know how many people pay attention to how much money they take out of your paycheck. And I took a little look at mine right before starting the video up because I was curious. I can't do anything about it, so what's it fucking matter how much they take out, I guess. Roughly $200 a pay. I pay into Social Security. I'm sure you pay roughly similar, $100, $200, whatever. So do some quick math on that. $400 a month, $4,800 a year, roughly $5,000 a year is what I'm paying into Social Security, which just so happens to be roughly the same amount I could max my Roth IRA out, but instead I pay it into this thing we call Social Security, and this giant fucking pyramid scheme that's set up basically. And my entire life listening to anything talking about finances or anything like that has been my generation's never going to see it. And if I had to guess, I would say we probably won't. You don't get it until you're like 65. So 40 years from now I would get my Social Security. And I don't think it's going to be around that long. Every so many years they come out and say, hey, it's going to be insolvent at this date. They're going to have to cut back on what they pay at this date, that date, which they will eventually. They're going to have to do it. It's not a hot political issue normally, I feel like, because people don't like, if you say you're going to cut Social Security, you're not getting elected. It's not going to happen. It's all the old people basically are going to vote you down, because then you're going to take their money away, which makes perfect sense. And in a weird way, you're stuck. The older generations have paid into it, so in some way, I would say they're owed what they paid into it, but what they get paid out is more than what they've paid in. And there's a bunch of other financial factors that come in with, like, inflation and things. They adjust the numbers of how much they pay. Social Security pays out to the people that receive it. Basically, it's just a big mess. It doesn't work. Every so many years they have to readjust it, or in other ways just print more money to make it function, because it's not set up correctly. It's literally a government-sanctioned pyramid scheme. And if you don't know what Social Security is, maybe go look into it a little bit. But I know most people are going to know what it is, but that's all it is. We pay in, old people get paid out. You don't get the money you put in. Basically, whatever money I pay in is going to whoever is receiving Social Security right now and will until I retire. And then our kids in theory are going to pay our Social Security. And honestly, I think it would be a better move. Obviously, I don't want to pay for it any more than anybody else. Who wants to pay into something they get no benefit from? You just dump money into a hole, basically. But it would almost be a better move in a weird way if we could, like, I'd be willing and even to pay into it as I need to, but cancel it for after our generation, basically, because if our kids aren't going to see it, or we just keep dumping money into it for no real return, you might as well just kill the program and kind of like feather it out. Try your best to feather it out. Obviously, you cut it off now, you're going to basically screw over a bunch of retired people. And and they won't be able to live. But going back to how much money it really is, $5,000 a year roughly. Max your Roth IRA. Roth IRA, if you don't know what that is, it's a non-taxable after-tax investment account. Invest up to your $6,000 or whatever a year, and then all your gains are non-taxable when you retire. And I did the quick little math before starting the video up. You put roughly $5,000 in a retirement account over a 40-year period until we retire at roughly 65. It's $1 million. $1 million if you just average out stock market returns over that period. $1 million. You think you're going to see $1 million? $1 million out of Social Security payments? No fucking chance. You're not getting paid nothing. And by then, I don't even know. Maybe $1 million won't be worth shit by then. Inflation keeps running the way it is. It might not matter. But I looked up the average monthly payout, which I think it varies depending on how much you paid in and things as well. But the average monthly payout in 2023 was $1,850. So say it's even $2,000 a month. You're getting paid $24,000 a year. $24,000 a year for what you think you're gonna live to? Maybe 85, 20 years. 48, 480,000. You're gonna get paid out 480,000 of my, in theory, $1 million I paid in. You return, lose half your money. Great system, right? Great system. Who the fuck thought up that? Some genius who thought we'll just borrow from the future of our kids to pay for our shit now. And I don't know, I'm sure there's got to be, I haven't looked into it enough, but I'm sure there's a cutoff where you don't even receive Social Security at all if you make enough money. So if you basically invest and do the right thing and retire correctly and do it yourself, you're going to have enough income in your retirement that you probably just won't even get Social Security. So that's another wrinkle in this whole situation, but I don't understand. I think a lot of people obviously take the method of, I'll just count on like Social Security to pay for me when I'm in my retirement and things like that. And that was the main point of what I wanted to make this video was about, was like, you can't anymore. Back in the day, they had pensions, Social Security, all these different things that basically you could count on to cover you after you quit working. I don't know if anybody has a pension. I know maybe firefighters and cops, like true government jobs, teachers, firefighters and cops. Most jobs don't have pensions, so there's nothing to count on there. Like I said, with SS, you're gonna get half of what you paid in, maybe get paid out half of what you put in. And who knows? That's if you're just investing your money. Let alone what if you just could use $200 a pay extra? I'd like 200 extra bucks. That'd be nice. Best case scenario, you got it extra so you can just invest it. But how about give me my $400 a month? That'd be kind of nice to have. Never hurts to have a couple hundred extra bucks. And it's just, it's become normalized, obviously. Like, it's just, you have to pay in it. There's no way out. If I could opt out, I'd opt out immediately, because I would do what I said earlier, basically just invest it myself and hope for the best. And I would hope most people out there don't, but I know that people do. I would trust myself with my finances more than the government. I'm not going to lean on them to do anything, because all they do is fuck shit up. You can't count on other people to basically take care of your shit. It's never going to end well. What's the one financial independence, retire early? I ain't on that, but you got to be financially independent. I don't care about retire early, whatever, but financial independence is where it's at. You can't be counting on other people, the government, anything like that. You got to do it yourself, or it's not going to get done in this. Nowadays, I feel like there's just no way it's going to work out. And that's where I'm getting at with this video is, if you're not invested 10-15% of your income, I don't know if your work offers it. Most jobs offer something. as far as like a 401k with a match. Hopefully your place you work offers that. Roth IRA, obviously, stuff like that. If you have a pension, I mean, I don't know. I don't have one, so I don't know really how they work, but you'd have to look into that as well. But you got to be putting some money away somewhere. You have to, because by the time we retire, Social Security isn't going to exist in the state as it exists right now. At a minimum, it might not exist at all, for all we know. But they're going to have to lower how much they pay, or they're going to back the age up to where you get paid. So what? You don't get Social Security until you're 70, so you don't really get to retire until you're 70, something like that. They're going to have to change it. It has to, because, like I said, they can't afford it. They come out and say every couple of years, we're going to be insolvent by 2034. It's going to run completely out of money if we keep doing exactly what we're going to do by 2037. So it's just not feasible. The system doesn't work. It's already broken. And all the question is how long does it take till it fails? That's all it is. So really, you got to look into doing this stuff by yourself. Not worry about, not put your future in somebody else's hands. You can't count on other people, and all you can really do is try your best. Like I said, you gotta go after that employer match if you got it. Generally, as I understand it, the way to go is if you got an employer match, you take that first. If you don't have an employer match, max out your Roth IRA, and after that, individual investment accounts, whatever. But you at minimum have the Roth. Like I said, it's only $6,000 a year to max it out only. I mean, you got $6,000 laying around extra. It's not only nothing. $6,000, it's still something. But as far as retirement goes, I have mine set up. My company just so happens to match 5%. You put in 10% of your pay, they'll give you 5% of your total pay. So total 15% of my paycheck pre-tax goes into 401k, and that's like minimum what you really should be putting in, basically. Like I said in a couple other videos, I'm trying to pay my student loans off early, so I'm pushing on that first, and then I'll max out my 401k and my Roth and all that afterwards. But you can't count on these other people to take care of you, basically. It's your life. You gotta strap it up, and you gotta fucking do it all, because don't count on them. Don't count on anybody else to do it. You gotta handle it, make sure it works out. And then hopefully, obviously, it does work out. And I mean, the stock market goes to shit completely, I feel like you have bigger problems than retirement if the stock market goes to like zero. So I don't really worry about stuff like that. You gotta try. That's the only hope, unless you want to work indefinitely. Which, honestly, I don't know. When do you want to retire? 50, 55, 60? That's all it'll determine is how much effort you want to put in. And that's really all I got to say about the Social Security thing. It's, like I said, it's not that crazy complex of a subject, but it's not going to be around, I would say. I won't say much longer, but it won't be around forever. So don't count on it. Do your own thing. I'll probably make later videos going into more depth about all this investment stuff, because that's, honestly, I love talking about that kind of thing. That's what I hope, and that's where I was going to go with the second part, is the future of this, because I'm going to just keep making these. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Like I said, it makes my drive go faster. I just bullshit to the camera for a little bit. Then I got to upload a video. I think I need to figure out how to edit a thumbnail or something to maybe get some more views. That'd be cool. But really what I'd like to have happen is basically just enough people to watch to make a little, not a community, but enough people that have questions and stuff like that. Because honestly, in my regular life, nothing is more fun than having my family or friends or anything ask me about a money thing that if they don't understand and I do understand, and if not, I'll go look it up because it's just interesting to me. But I would love to explain that to anybody who needs to know. And the ideal scenario for the channel would basically be set it up, and if we get comments, or I don't know, if it got big enough, I'd set up a Discord type thing. I'd love to take actual calls and talk to somebody in person, especially if they're on their drive home from work. I'm on my drive home. Take the call. They got any financial questions? I don't know if you watch Dave Ramsey, but I love that shit. I'll get into that some other video. I don't know if I agree with everything he says, but I love the format. It's awesome. So I'd love to do that. answer questions. I keep asking for comments because that's literally all. That'd be so fun. I feel like that'd make it so much more interesting to be able to take somebody's real life scenario and hopefully help them in some way. And obviously, for me, it's more of just kind of an entertainment thing. I'm just bullshitting here in front of a camera, but I've learned these couple of things over the past couple of years, and I mean, I know there's people out there that don't know it. People don't know this stuff for the most part. Whether they don't pay attention, it's not a priority, whatever. But hey, I mean, it's really not that hard. Let's change that. It's not that complex. It can be very hard. I'll reword that. Complex. It's not that complex. Almost anybody can do it. You just got to know how. And it'd be awesome to be able to help some people figure out how. So that's my spiel for the day. Got another 20 minutes till I get home, so if you got something out of the video, drop a like. Like I said, leave a comment. Any question, I'd love to answer that. It'd be awesome. Any financial question, anything, and I'll answer it. I ain't got shit else going on. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna go home, get a workout, go to bed, eat dinner, go to bed, work next day, keep it going. So catch you guys in the next one.